BYD just unveiled flash charging technology that goes from 10 to 80% in 12 minutes. That's faster than getting a coffee at Tim Hortons. Here's why this changes everything for Canadian EV buyers. The biggest objection Canadians have about electric vehicles isn't the price anymore. It's the time spent charging. A typical EV on a fast charger takes 30 to 45 minutes to go from 10 to 80%. On a road trip across Ontario or through the Rockies, that adds hours to your journey. BYD's flash charging cuts that to 12 minutes on compatible vehicles. The technology is called dual-mode flash charging. It supports up to 1,000 volts and 600 amperes. The peak charging rate reaches 360 kilowatts. For context, the fastest Tesla Superchargers in Canada deliver 250 kilowatts. BYD's system is 44% faster at peak. The first vehicles to feature flash charging are the second-generation BYD Seal and the Atto 3 Evo. Both are expected in the Canadian market as part of BYD's first and second wave launches. The Atto 3 Evo specifically features 800-volt architecture, a 75 kilowatt-hour blade battery, and a peak charging speed of 220 kilowatts. The flagship Seal with the full flash charging system pushes to 360. Now, the reality check. Flash charging only works at its rated speed if the charging station supports it. Most public chargers in Canada currently max out at 150 to 350 kilowatts. Electrify Canada has some 350 kilowatt stations. Petro-Canada's charging network varies widely. FLO stations are mostly 50 kilowatt. That means even with a flash charging capable BYD, your actual charging speed depends on the station you're at. At a 150 kilowatt station, you'd charge at 150 regardless of the car's capability. At a 350 kilowatt Electrify Canada station, you'd get close to the full speed on the flagship Seal. The charging infrastructure needs to catch up to the cars, and that will take years, not months. Winter also matters. Battery chemistry charges slower in cold temperatures. At -20 degrees, even flash charging capable vehicles will charge at roughly 60 to 70% of their rated speed. A 12-minute charge in summer becomes roughly 18 to 20 minutes in deep winter. Still faster than anything else on the market. But not the headline number. We covered BYD's full Canadian lineup and pricing in detail in our Atto 3 and Seal pricing video. Link in the description if you want the complete breakdown. Now here's why flash charging matters strategically for BYD in Canada. Range anxiety is the single biggest barrier to EV adoption in this country. Canada is massive. The drive from Toronto to Montreal is over 500 kilometers. Calgary to Vancouver is over 1,000. Canadians need to know they can charge quickly on long trips. A 12-minute stop is psychologically different from a 45-minute stop. 45 minutes feels like you're waiting. 12 minutes feels like a normal gas station visit. That psychological shift could convert buyers who've been resistant to EVs entirely. It doesn't matter that most daily driving never requires fast charging. What matters is that buyers know they can road trip without planning their life around charging stations. BYD's flash charging also puts pressure on every other manufacturer. Tesla's supercharger network is the gold standard in Canada. But if BYD vehicles charge faster than Tesla's on the same network, that's a competitive advantage Tesla hasn't faced before. Hyundai's eGMP platform supports 800-volt charging at up to 240 kilowatts. Kia's EV6 chargers at up to 239 kilowatts. BYD at 360 kilowatts would be the fastest charging vehicle available in Canada. And speed sells. Not just driving speed, charging speed. In a market where the average new car costs $63,000 and the average commute doesn't require fast charging, the difference between brands increasingly comes down to which one makes the ownership experience feel the most like a gas car. Flash charging does that. The technology is ready. The infrastructure isn't. Yet. But by the time BYD's flash charging vehicles arrive in Canada in late 2026 and 2027, the charging network will have expanded. Electrify Canada is adding stations quarterly. Petro-Canada has committed to expanding. And the federal government's zero-emission vehicle infrastructure program is funding new stations across the country. BYD isn't just bringing cheap cars to Canada. They're bringing technology that makes the entire EV experience faster and easier. And that might matter more than the price tag. Would faster charging change your mind about buying an EV? Drop it in the comments.